as a group activity, we choose to do a horror theme in our podcast after discussing among ourselves. To keep one consistent and cinematic plot each
Hi, my
episode,
name
we
is
choose to
Nur
base
Amira
it
Shaira.
around one
So,
story.
in
The
the
reason to
editing
pick
process,
this
the first
idea
and most
that the horror
important step
genre
is
can
to
evoke
thoroughly
certain
understand the
psychological
script.
reactions
So,
such
this is
as
a curical
suspense and
because
fear,
it allows
which
me
are
to
easy to
identify
achieve
the right
with
sound effect that
audio-focused
match the
storytelling
tone,
by
mood, and
Hancock and
movement of the
McMurtry
horror story.
2017
Once I
state that
understand the
horror bash
narrative, I
podcasts
begin
have
to list down all
rejuvenated
relevant
classic
sound
gothic
effects that
with the
will
help of
enhance
audio
the scary
effect to
atmosphere
generate
and create
intense
an immersive
emotions
listening
and establish
experience. So
suspenseful
these
moods.
sound effects
Concentrating
are
on a
carefully
single story
selected to
in
amplify
each
tension,
episode allowed
mystery,
us
and
to
fear,
make sure that
helping
our
the
message was
audience lah feel
powerful
like they're
enough and
truly
simpler
part
to
of the
grasp by the
terrifying
listener.
true
After
story.
we managed to define the
So
storyline,
after
we
finalizing
managed
the
to jointly
SFX
create the
list,
script
I
and bring
move
it to
on to
our
Canva
lecturer
Pro,
to be
which is I
approved. The process
use
of being
as the
creative
main
was
platform
actively
for editing
performed
the
by all
visual and
members of the
audio
team. One
structure
of the
of the
members
podcast in
would be
Canva Pro.
moderated as the others
So
would
based
serve as
on
guests
the screen
with a
recording, I
particular role
edit
as they are
using
part of
Canva
the
Pro.
horror story. We rehearsed several
I
times
import the
so
voice
that the script
recording
would be
and
very
background
successful
music.
presented
Then
with the right pace and the same tone.
arrange the
In
sound
horror
audio
theme
lah.
podcasts,
So
scripting and voice modulation are
I science
essential to
basic
maintain
sound
the interest
effect
of
like
the
whine
listener
and
and
whisper.
balance the
Then
suspense.
I
Rehearsal
adjust timing
assisted
and
us also
transition
to
between
tune our
segments.
conversation
So
and
in
make it
Canva
more
Pro
engaging. The
is
audio
especially
room in
useful for its drag
SMMTC,
and drop
where the podcast
easy lah
was
and
taken,
clean
was
interface
chosen
that
very
allowing me
strictly to
to
have a
visualize the
soundproof
entire flow
system
of the
and the
story
other major
easily.
benefit when it
So, but
comes
the
to
editing
the
doesn't stop
acoustic
there.
control,
I also use
contributing to
CapCut
the
Pro lah for
ability to
further
record the audio in
enhancement.
a high quality and clear form with no external noises. This working environment enable us to reproduce consistencies in the musical volume and vocal clearness during recording. After completing the recording session, the post-production procedure, such as we were chopping the extra pauses,
So
minimizing the
next I use
background
CapCut
noises,
Pro.
modulating, and
CapCut
adding the
Pro
sound
allows more
effects to
detailed
enhance the feeling
and
of
layered
horror. Such
sound
improvement
design.
played
So
a
by making
crucial
it
role
ideal for a
in
horror
making
podcast
the
lah.
listener
So in
immersed,
CapCut
according
Pro,
by
I can
Hancock
fine-tune the
and
sound
McMurtry
levels and I
2017.
can do
Also
layer
a
multiple
very
sound
important
effect.
aspect
Example,
of
I
horror
use
podcasting
ambient
because
bass
it
or
elicates
whisper.
emotions.
Example,
We had prepared and
I can
presented
apply
a
voice
detailed group
effect.
report
I mean
about all
the
the
echo
steps
for
of the
realism.
production process. After
And
completing
then
it
I can
was
use
the
3D
editing process.
spatial audio features to simulate voice behind your ear effects. So one both part are edited. So Canva Pro for the audio and the music background, and for detail sound design, I combine both version lah into one final master edit. So after that, the final step is to export the podcast into MP3 format. Before officially publishing or uploading, I always do a full listening test from start to finish to make sure the sound level are balanced. There's not awkward silence or clipping, and the pacing and translation flow are smoothly. So only once everything sounds polished, I proceed to download the final MP3 and prepare it for publishing. So these are the step-by-step approach ensure that the podcast deliver the right level of fear, suspense, and immersions that horror fans love. Thank you.
I will explain the challenge and what we learn from the recording process. The first one is background noise or noise from the environment often disrupt the quality of audio recording because it can make the main voice difficult to hear clearly. The second one is the use of unsuitable or low quality microphone can cause recording to be less clear, buzzing and hissing. The third one is inconsistent or too soft voice can make it difficult for the listener to concentrate or understanding the content being presented. Next, I will explain what we learn from the recording process. The first one is initial preparation, such as script rehearsal, selection of suitable recording location, and equipment testing are very important to produce quality recordings. We also learn to be more sensitive to technical elements such as sound levels, background noise, and voice clarity. Understanding how small factors like microphone distance and environmental noise can have a big impact on the final recording outcome.